We are back with the second part of this email. He wrote this in two different parts, and he wanted me to split it up in two different parts so it's easily digestible. And I agree. Stories should be like that. But anyway, guys, if you haven't heard the first story, check it out. It's the story right before this one. It's the latest one before this one. So if you're listening to this one and you want to hear the first part, it's just the story from yesterday. So go ahead and check that out. But let's get into this one. So we ended with, boy, was I wrong. Part 2, exposing the lies. Things got worse and worse. I'm not surprised. I cannot describe to you the life of anguish that I was living in. The disrespect would come from left, right, and any which direction. I felt like I was constantly being jumped by one person. If you ever watched Naruto, I swear she hit a shadow clone jutsu and complained from every angle possible. I could literally be sitting there slouched, and she'd smack my back, saying that I need to sit up like a man. Freaking crazy. Wow. As I mentioned before, I had got those DMs, and no matter how much of a simp I was, it really extremely bothered me, exactly like it should. I ignored every red flag possible. I was bothered, traumatized, and was having serious regret only 1 month into being married. And it always bothered me about how she said it was revenge RP, but yet when I interrogated her, a lot of the things she was saying didn't really make any sense. How could this be RP? If it was RP, then who posted it? And how do you not know who posted it? And if you had any inclination of who might have done it, why did we not want to file a police report? I knew all of the answers would be in her phone, so I opened Pandora's box and found every answer. This chick knew exactly who posted it when she made it, and also acknowledged the fact that she lied to me. There was a text to multiple dudes saying not to contact her and to try and delete the videos since someone was sending them around. There was even motion of them going back and checking the Cash App names to see who might have leaked it. True, she was running a corn page. Bro, my stomach dropped down even further. Imagine you already feeling like you're in a pit and it goes down deeper. You would think that that's impossible, but I may have gone into shock at that point. And once you go down that far, there's only one way you can go, and that's up. I like that. My main objective was to get it all taken down. It took months, but I finally did it, since it was ran on Tumblr, and if you recall, Tumblr deleted all their corn, so it was a huge help. At this point, we're 9 months in and constantly arguing. During this time, the pandemic has started, so there was no room to hide anything. I remember working and hearing her in the other room on the phone with somebody. She kept saying it was her cousin, but why would you take a phone call from your cousin in a locked room? I remember hearing a specific line. She said, "I don't mind doing things with you." At this point, I was fed up and said, "Bet, let me just let this play out and see how it goes." I backed off and eventually she noticed. And instead of asking, "What is wrong?" she resorts to the, "You don't treat me like my husband, so until I see a change, you're not him. You gotta fight for me." At this point, I was too tired to even try, so again, I just waited and let it play out. I was worried sick because I knew what was coming. She was definitely cheating on me, but I was just waiting for her to slip up. One day while she was gone, I put my plan into action. What is this plan? I had given her an old laptop to do her schoolwork on months back. By trade, I was IT help desk analyst, so I knew my way around a computer. Naturally, she reset the password on her account. However, most people don't know that on Windows, there's actually a hidden administrator account. So I easily logged in, reset her password, and had access to all of her social media and accounts. I went through everything and found nothing. However, She did not realize that her Google Photos was still backing up to every single screenshot that she had ever taken. I went through the photos and there it was, screenshots she had sent to someone, likely her cousin, about text messages between her and some dude where she was telling him that she might be pregnant. Around that time, she was also telling me the same thing. She didn't know who the father was clearly. True, I shouted out of anger and joy because I knew that I was out of there. Clearly around that time, my morals were all over the place. I could have left at any point, but felt like I needed biblical justification of only being able to leave if your spouse had stepped out on you. Wow. When I finally confronted her, I had my best friend outside in the car. She made up every excuse in the book, even resorting to the "he graped me" scream speech, begging me to stay, but when I wouldn't budge, she threatened to call the cops and started to assault me. I guess this is what happens when you can't and never have held yourself accountable. I called my dad and explained everything to him. He was in shock and couldn't believe what he was hearing. I don't think anybody has ever gone through something as severe as any of what I've told you. All he could say was, "Come home." My entire family came together. Even my grandma came up with enough money to break the lease and move me back to North Carolina. Thankfully, since we were in Florida, which is a no-fault state, the divorce took place there and she couldn't get me for alimony or any of the other things that could hurt me long term. I did walk away strategically with the debt. The second that paper was signed, something inside of me just snapped. The brain is a muscle, and just like any muscle, when it's torn, it builds back even stronger. My brain went through something so severe that once it started to heal, it's as if everything unlocked for me. I was a lot stronger, a lot smarter. Everything about me was completely different. And on top of everything, I was fueled by rage. To prove to myself that I'm the best to ever do it, that I didn't need her or anyone but my family and myself, when I originally submitted the story, I had just discovered the red pill. But in my last email, I couldn't fully commit to it. That lasted like a week. Laughing face. He has a laughing emoji here. I started going after everything and became the most successful I've ever been over the past couple years. I have gone from help desk to the engineer, doubling my salary. My weight went from 210 pounds of fat to 190 pounds of muscle. I'm jacked, bro, and my relationship with my family is as good as ever. If you couldn't tell, I'm a very religious person, and it's one of the core foundations that I established for myself when reestablishing who I wanted to be for the rest of my life. So I still believe in having kids and a family. So although that experience was absolutely horrible, I am now happily remarried, and we plan on having kids next year. When my ex-wife found this out, she lost it. She went around telling people that I was homosexual and a cheater, and that's why we got a divorce. Wow. All I could do was laugh, knowing that no one was going to believe her and everybody could see how pathetic she is being, that she now runs a new OF page, which my wife may or may not have sent it to her family. Me and my new wife are extremely successful in every way. My wife went through a similar experience with her ex, and we share almost the same life experiences, causing us both high levels of success. And above all, more so I don't take crap from anybody. As I said, we are very religious, and my new wife follows the Bible about being submissive to your husband. So even if my wife were to crap test me, I make that down. I go my own way and do whatever the heck I want, and don't really care what anybody has to think. True, we are the only ones who drive our lives. If we want something out of it, we make it happen. I hope you all can learn a lot from my experience. I did make a lot of mistakes. However, getting to where I am has prepared me to teach my future kids so much and help them to avoid it all, on top of helping you guys to not be like me in the past. Thank you for listening. And thank you for still covering these videos, man. They really do help everybody that goes through something like this, because I know for a fact they really did help me.